What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight... Okay, making her debut on the channel tonight. I hope I pronounced her name right. We have Junna. Yes, indeed. How about that? Junna making her debut on the channel. This is a request from Def, D-E-F, Def by Chocolate and Glenn. They both want to see me react to this song. It is Junna doing a drum cover of the DragonForce song, Through the Fire and Flames. Oh boy. Okay, so let's go. Full disclosure here. Have I heard the song before? Oh yes. Many times. This is one of those songs on Guitar Hero that is just absolutely frustrating. I'm very familiar with the song, yes. Now, I've never heard Junna do anything before. I've heard of her, but I've never seen anything that she's ever done, and I've never heard anything that she's done. So this is my first exposure to her. So to be perfectly clear, I will not be reacting to, evaluating, or scoring the song itself. I'm taking DragonForce completely out of the picture here, okay? I am only going to be reacting to, evaluating, and scoring what Junna does on the drums. Her interpretation, how she plays it, you know, stuff like that. So please keep that in mind. This was posted by Junna, no shock there, and the video has 2.5 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Junna, Through the Fire and Flames, DragonForce drum cover. I'm just curious. Okay, so she's doing the radio edit version. The original version of this song is like 7.5 minutes, like the full version. So she's doing like the radio edit. So, it's a bummer. I've never been a big fan of the radio edit. I've just never been a fan. But at least I know now what I can expect. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Bill? Okay. Bill? Oh my God. Oh, she is fun to watch. Oh my goodness. Okay. Normally when I do like these drum reactions, I do the whole drum, camera thing, and I'm supposed to watch the drummer. I've done a few of these. This is not my first video. I'm always very impressed by their technicality. I've always been very impressed by their cleanliness. I've always been very impressed with their technique. And I mean, it's fine. I've never had a problem doing it. But I think this might be the first time I've ever done a drum reaction where I'm having more fun just watching her play than I am being impressed by what she's doing. Don't get me wrong. Her playing is spot on. It's absolutely spot on. Her fills, There were two fills in particular I was looking for. I just saw both of them. Very tight, very well done, great execution. But what I'm having the most fun with right now is her, for lack of a better word, her stage presence and her showmanship. She is just having fun up there. You can see it in her face. She's smiling. She's having a good time. Her head's doing the whole back and forth thing while she's playing. I mean, that's movement and motion. Look, there's not a whole lot that drummers can do as far as stage energy goes, other than play. So anything you can do to add to that is always welcome. And her facial expressions, her head going side to side, that's fun. The whole stick up in the air while hitting the hi-hat kick, again, showmanship. It's fun. This is fun to watch. And on top of it, not only is it fun to watch her play, it's technically very sound. Like it's right there. So I'm enjoying this. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I wasn't sure going into this I was gonna like it. I was. It's not that I'm being prejudiced or anything like that, or a lot of people might make the accusation of me, well, he just doesn't think the girls can play drums because he was so hard on the drummer from the White Stripes. No, guys, I know plenty of female drummers who are phenomenal female drummers. Personally, I know I've played with quite a few. They are phenomenal drummers. Sex has absolutely nothing to do with it. It has to do everything with timing, ability, talent, and drive. It has to do with these core principles, not just for drummers, but for any musician, but drummers in particular. Now, she's doing a fantastic job, outstanding job, blowing away my expectations. So let's keep going here. Let's see where this goes. Interesting approach. Now that time she did the left foot on the pickup. Good fill. I'll see she does the stick twirl. She didn't do the stick twirl, but she did something really cute. So, okay, fine. It works for me. Just overall, very entertaining. Very entertaining. She is a joy to watch. When it comes to facial expressions and drummers, I've played with more drummers than I care to count. I will always find myself, as a bass player, I will always find myself during rehearsals, in particular during rehearsals, going back and interacting with the drummer and watching the drummer, because I want to make sure I'm locked in with the drummer. And I always find that when I'm playing with a drummer who is, okay, we have two drummers, both equally talented, both equally proficient, both on the exact same skill level and proficiency level, okay? They can play the exact same things the exact same way. One of them is very straight-laced, stand up, plays everything clean, technically sound, everything is super tight, everything is, exactly how it should be. Yeah, the other drummer who is like her, bopping around, head side to side, facial expressions, making some just ridiculous faces. Drummers, I don't think you understand the type of faces that you guys make. I have played with some drummers where they're just making faces and I'm just looking at them going, wow. And this is coming from me, I'm watching their faces going, holy hell, are you having a seizure? You know, but at the same time, now you're going to ask, okay, why'd you put those two drummers up there? Try to guess which one I would rather play with. I'm going to take the one who's having fun, you know, getting into it, being animated, making the faces, because plain and simple, they're more fun to play with. Plain and simple, they are. I would love to play with her sometime. I would. I would love to get the opportunity to plug in and just jam with her. Pick a song, I don't care. And just jam out with her. Pick a few songs. I'd like to do more than one, obviously. But I would love to play with her sometime. She looks like she would be a ton of fun to play with. So I would love to play with her sometime. I really would. She looks like she would be a blast. Anyway, let's keep going here. Oh, the high sticking on the left. Pointing with the stick. Nice triplet field. I'm sorry. I'm having way too much fun watching her. I am. I already know this is going to get a great score. I already know it's going to be at least up in the 8s, at least. I already have a feeling of that. We're over halfway, so I'm able to pretty much get an idea of what score I'm going to give it by now. It's going to be up at least in the mid to high 8s, at least, if not higher. Look, arguments could be made for 9s. I'll do that while I'm thinking it over, you know. But I mean, so far, I'm nothing but impressed. And like I said, it's not just her technicality. It's not just what she's doing with her playing. It's her attitude. It's her persona. It's her stage presence. Any band would be lucky to have her as a drummer. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. God. Heaven forbid this ever happens, but if like either the drummer for Love Bites or the drummer for Bandmate, if either one of their drummers ever decides to, you know, hang it up and put the sticks away and retire, God, I hope they give this girl a chance. I really do, because I think she would fit right in with either band. Either band. God, she's good. She's a fantastic drummer, but on top of that, what's impressing me more than anything is her persona, her stage presence, her stage energy. Yeah, could you imagine how she would be playing in front of a live crowd? God, she'd probably be even turning up even more. My kind of gal. My kind of gal, turning up even more in front of a live crowd. Anyway, let's keep going here. Okay, I saw that. Nice Easter egg. God, her feet. feet. I mean, I've been watching her feet this entire time. I've been really impressed with what she's doing. I mean, overall, I'm impressed with what she's doing. But her feet, a lot of drummers, and this is kind of a pet peeve of mine. I don't even know why it's a pet peeve of mine, but I've noticed a lot of drummers sometimes when they're doing like double kick, they get very heavy-footed. Like I don't even know why they do this, but they will literally like take the foot off the pedal and stomp on it. And I'm like, you don't need to do that. If your drums are properly mic'd, you don't need to sit there and stomp on your pedals. You just don't need to do that. Her feet are so light. I mean, she's not hitting the pedals at all. It's just everything's on the toes. Everything's on the toes. Everything's light, but you can still get a good delivery. You can still get that. But without all the excess energy of having to lift your foot off the pedal and then smash it down, like I've seen a lot of other drummers do. And the way that she's doing it leads to a couple of things. Number one, it's a lot more accurate. It's a lot tighter. And you can play with better feel and have better touch with those drums. And I mean, for some, a lot of people don't believe this. I personally do believe this. There is a certain amount of lift that comes with playing drums. Not so much how you hit the drum. I mean, don't get me wrong. That is important. But also how you come off the drum. How long does your stick or your pedal stay pressed to the drum before you lift it off? And her touch is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Fills still sound good. They're dead accurate. I loved the little Easter egg of her, bending down and picking up the whatever she was drinking and taking a swig while, her counterpart was up here still drinking. I got it. I've seen the video. I understand. No, I just can't say enough about this girl. God dang, she is fantastic. Let's keep going. Tongue out and all. Nice. Okay. A tiny, that's like the first little flub I've seen so far. A tiny little, tiny little bit sloppy on that snare fill. Let's see. That pause in between the first and second part of the riff, just a tiny little bit long, but she did come back in and she, for lack of a better word, she did kind of rush to get back in so she could get back on time. Look, I have never played a perfect show before. I never have. I've always made a couple of mistakes through the course of a show. I have never played an entire show without making a single mistake. It has just never happened. It never will. There's no such thing. Everybody makes mistakes. So look, that was her one flub. And it wasn't even a big one either. It was a very, the only reason I even picked up on it is that's one of my favorite fills of coming out of the solo is that part. Because it comes back and gets the main riff going, gets the chorus going again. And I was like, that's one of my favorite snare riffs because it is primarily snare driven. So I was paying attention. I was really paying attention to it. And okay, a little flub, big deal. The thing is, she made the mistake, but she didn't let that destroy it. She got right back into it again. She recovered and she got back into it within the period of literally maybe 2/16 notes. Maybe, if that. I don't even think I think it actually took maybe 8/16 for her to get back into it again. That was it. So, that was quick. It was a quick recovery. And look, you got to give respect to that, because there's a lot of drummers when if they flub or something like that, they completely fall to pieces. I don't know why that is, but you'll see a lot of drummers do that. They will fall completely apart just because they missed a tom hit or something like that. And they're like, oh, that's it. Concert's over. Throw the sticks in the air, kick over the drums. I'm done. And they walk off the stage. It's like, wow, okay. Over one missed thing that nobody would have noticed until you, as the drummer, pointed out the fact that you made the mistake. Anyway, you're not supposed to do that, folks. When you make mistakes, you're not supposed to point it out. You're supposed to keep on going and just say, I meant to do that. That's what they call jazz. Anyway, so yeah, so for the record, she's definitely playing this live. There's no question now. You wouldn't put a flub into a pre-recorded thing. So no, that was fine, man. Like I said, it is not even a big deal. I'm actually more impressed with the fact that she did flub and recovered as quickly and as smoothly as she did. So fine with me. Let's keep going here. Let's finish this out. Here it comes. It's a workout. That is definitely a workout. Wow. Oh man, that blew all of my expectations out of the water. It really did. Okay. So clearly I liked it. I mean, I don't think there's any need for discussion on that. I obviously enjoyed this. How much I enjoyed this, that's what I have to think about. Give me a few minutes. It really shouldn't take very long. I already have an idea where I'm going to go with this. But give me a few minutes. Let me think about it. Let me make very sure. And I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was, I hope I'm pronouncing this name right. Junna with a drum cover of the DragonForce tune, Through the Fire and Flames. This was a request from Def, D-E-F, as in Def. Def by Chocolat and Glenn. Okay, I thought about this. And it actually, believe it or not, it took a little longer than I thought because I kept coming back to two scores and I kept going back and forth. And the two scores were very close. It's not like, I was trying to decide between a 7.8 and a 9.2. It wasn't that. They were practically right next to each other, okay? And I was like, okay, it's gonna be one or the other. I don't know which way to go. They're equally good. I mean, they're right up there. And I was like, which way should I go? So, well, Boz, I put it to good use. I flipped the coin. And I got a score here based on the coin flip. The higher score won, just to let you know. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, I am going to give that a 9.1. Yep, 9.1. You heard me. I didn't stutter. That is the score I feel this video deserves. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay. Let's start with the drumming. Okay, let's start with the drumming. Her technique was really well done. I mean, she's got some fantastic shots. I think what impressed me the most about her drumming was her double kick. Don't get me wrong, I loved her fills. Her fills were all spot on. Her cover, drum cover of the song, I really didn't hear any variations. I didn't really hear any differences between the original song and what she played. So I don't think she took any liberties. I think what she played was spot on. That alone is pretty impressive, okay? On top of that, her technique is very tight. I mean, it's a loose style of playing. She's not like rigid, but I mean, other than that one little flub, other than that, she was spot on. I mean, with her technique, with her drumming, her patterns, her rhythmics, her runs, her fills, everything sounded spot on, okay? And even that little flub, like I said, unless you're specifically listening to that snare fill, like if you know that snare fill is coming and you're really paying attention to it, you wouldn't even notice. The third time I went back and I played it for the third time when I was going to end the video, I tried not to focus on the snare, and to be honest with you, I didn't even really notice it. I did notice it. The only way you notice it is if you are focusing completely on that snare fill. And like I said, I was very impressed by how quickly she recovered and got right back into it again. We're talking about a space, maybe like a dotted 16th note, 2/16 at best. And I don't even think it would took 2/16 notes worth of time. I really feel like it was about a 16th and 16th, a dotted 16th. So a 16th and a 30-second notes worth of time, or 3 30-second notes, take your pick. But it's like that quick, it's that fast. That's how quickly she recovered. So that's impressive. And also pretty much eliminated any possibility in my mind that she was playing to a track, that she was faking it, or I don't know how you would say, she was drum syncing, not lip syncing. She was drum syncing. Nope, she was playing live. It was pretty obvious. You wouldn't put a flub into a recording like that on purpose. I was really impressed with how quickly she recovered. But what really impressed me more than anything was her double kick. The way that she had her approach on the double kick. She was very light-footed, and she never kept the heads of the mallets, the hammers, pressed up against the head for very long. She would hit it, and she would usually let go right away, which is a good way of thinking, because you save yourself that backstroke. You know what I mean? A lot of times drummers will press, and they'll keep the mallet pressed up against the drum head. Like, here's the mallet, right? Here's the drum head. Boom, it stays there, and they'll keep it there until they're ready to strike again. Here's the problem with that. Look, if you're a drummer and you do that, look, if that works for you, there's no problem with that. I got no issue with it. But what I've been told by a lot of drummers who I played with is when you do that, you have to think ahead and give yourself a little extra half beat to bring it back before you hit it again. Whereas you've already hit the pad, let go, and have it come back, and it's ready to go. You can just go boom, and it's right there, rather than boom, and it's right there. You see the difference? The difference is here or here. It's just a little more work to do it the other way. So I like her approach with her double kick. Her kit sounded fantastic too. Her drumming alone, I'll be honest with you, it was really good. It was very impressive. I would have given the drumming like an 8.6, 8.7. It was really well done, okay? What bumped this up to a 9.1 for me was her stage persona, her showmanship, her interaction, her stage energy, her charisma, the faces she was making. She was having fun doing this. You could see it. Some great stick tricks, pointing to the crowd, stick up in the air, hitting the hi-hat, coming back in. Some great showmanship, head moving from side to side, she looks like she's having a blast up there, and she's putting on a show. And I cannot tell you how many times I have played with drummers, and they're phenomenal drummers, don't get me wrong. They're phenomenal drummers, fantastic drummers, and they are just so stiff. They are just so straight-laced, and they don't move. They just do not move. They'll hit every single fill, every single, rhythmic pattern. They absolutely nail it, but they're just, I hate to say it, they're just boring though. They're absolutely boring. And it's like, I want to go back and play with them and rock out with them, and they just look at me like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I was trying to have fun, but clearly that's not going to happen right now. You know, and I got no problem playing with those guys because, like I said, they're phenomenal drummers. They're super tight and everything, but it's not a lot of fun. Meanwhile, I'll play with drummers who are equally talented, equally tight, equally balanced, equally rhythmic patterns are tight. Everything sounds fantastic, but they are showmen. One of my favorite guys to play with, Richie, phenomenal drummer, and on top of it, a phenomenal showman. I actually went and saw him play with. I won't say the artist. I don't know if I have permission to say the artist's name. I'll have to ask Richie if I can ever get permission to say what band it was. But I got to see my friend Richie play at the Whiskey. Oh God, the Whiskey. Last night, and just watching him play, man, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. So it's always fun to watch him. It just makes me want to be on stage and playing with him again. It really does. So I will take a drummer with showmanship any day. As long as that drummer with showmanship can play well and can play rhythmically, tight, and keep time and steady time. As long as that can happen, they can have all the showmanship in the world, and I'm fine with it. I got no issue with it. I love it. And she has that in spades. She really does. Loved everything I saw from her. I would love to play with her sometime. I would love to take my bass in there, plug in, and just, jam with her for like 15, 20 minutes. That's all I ask. I'm not asking for like a full-blown concert. Just give me a chance to rock out with her for 15, 20 minutes, and I will have a blast with her. I guarantee it. Just playing with a drummer of her caliber and that kind of showmanship, that would bring joy to my heart. It really would. So she did a phenomenal job. I was absolutely blown away by her stage presence and her persona, and that is how we're coming to a 9.1. For those of you wondering, I was debating between 9.0 and 9.1, and I kept going between the two. So it was literally between 9.0 and 9.1, and I ended up taking the coin and flipping it. And I asked, should I give her the 9.1? And it ended up with yes. I don't know if you can actually see that or not, but it says yes. That's how it landed. So I said, cool. Well, there it is, 9.1. So 9.1, final score. I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hopefully you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.